God. So this is kind of new.
Yeah.
I'm going to unplug this because it sounds really weird
Oh, yeah.
with this on. Okay, so welcome to the Dedlie Hour.
Nice.
You're meeting me for the first time.
What?
The real me, Blake Dedlie. Just kidding. Not really. So this is my hourglass.
Right.
I just want to ask you to flip this, and then we can start the hour.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay, there we go. So Adrienne
Yes.
Glass
Yes.
is my direct report at this place that I work at. Our CEO has asked that I do not use the name, just in case you give us a really bad review.
Right.
Which is fine. I want nothing but complete honesty from you. So it'll be, which I think will make for an interesting
Yeah, for sure.
discussion, especially because I was your supervisor. Today is your last day, and we have some questions we're going to go over. I can't believe it, but our boss actually agreed
Yeah,
to
that's kind of surprising.
to record this exit interview. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So by the way, this podcast started, I just wanted to interview musicians and artistic people like that I know,
Right.
to sort of document all the fun stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to interview you because you're like a legit creative person.
Thanks.
So yeah, and we can talk about that stuff a little later.
Of course.
But yeah, and that's sort of why you wanted to come to Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, so like essentially it kind of started out like with my husband, like he's in film and everything.
Yeah.
So we did like some video work back at home, more so like with weddings. We did a few side projects here and there, short films, stuff like that. But yeah, he came out here for film, but obviously I enjoyed doing it too, but I enjoyed doing photography more than anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. You were really good. We shot a Halloween video, which I have on this computer, and I'll show you
Yeah.
a little bit of it. It's very, what's the word? Rough.
Right.
But I thought you handled yourself real well. You were like a pro
Thanks.
during it. I felt like I was on a film set again, which I used to be a lot. But yeah, you have the experience, so there you go.
Cool, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start this exit interview.
All right.
And then we'll see how long this goes, and then if it takes up the whole time, it takes up the whole time. If not, I'll ask you some more questions.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. What was your position at?
I was a career services coordinator / DSO.
That's right. What is a DSO, by the way, for the people that don't know?
Yeah, so a DSO is a designated school official. So basically, I just get to work with the government in a weird way. But I just, as a career services coordinator, I got to authorize work for F1 students.
Now, you're from Alabama, so you must be a huge Donald Trump fan, right?
Not at all. Nope. Listen, we don't even need to get into that discussion right now.
All right, that's fine. When did you start working at?
August of 2017.
By the way, you can say the word. I'm going to bleep it out.
Okay.
August.
2017.
Do you remember the date? Was
Oh,
it the first?
I think it was the first, honestly, yeah.
Okay. How long did you work at? So you must have been here a year?
Yeah.
And some change?
Yeah, a year and like 2 months.
Okay. What made you accept a job at? And you can click on all these. You can select all that apply. I'll tell you them.
Oh, okay.
So unemployed and needed a job.
Yeah, definitely.
Referred by a friend.
Nope.
Fringe benefits.
What?
I have no idea
Nope.
what that means. Career advancement.
Yeah.
Okay. Advertisement.
No.
Salary advancement.
I mean, I guess because my salary was 0.
Easy commute.
Yes, at the time.
Okay. Reputation as a good place to work.
I don't remember seeing anything like that, but so yeah, no, I guess not.
Other. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay. Job. Was the job orientation effective?
Yes.
Okay. Did the job match your expectations? Working with. So let's backtrack a little. So you actually started in admissions?
Yeah. So I started as an admissions advisor, and I worked doing that until February of 2018. Or March, sorry. And then I moved over to
career services.
Yeah.
And tell all those students.
Yeah. So originally I actually applied to be the receptionist here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then I had I had an interview with two people, the CEO and then the current head of admissions, and so then they asked me to.
They were like,
admissions. Yeah.
Admissions, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I thought that was pretty cool because, I mean, kind of leveled up there a little bit from what my expectation was. So,
yeah, totally.
I mean, I think it definitely met my expectations, and I feel like I learned a lot, especially like within the first few months.
Yeah.
Because even like my first student was crazy, kind of like a bad student in a way
Oh, really?
to have. Yeah. But like it made me learn a lot, like right off the
Sure.
bat. So I think that was really good.
Yeah, all of
experience.
our mistakes
Yeah.
or problems, just
Yeah.
help us learn and
Exactly.
all
Yeah.
that fun
So
stuff.
it was stressful for sure, but I think it was really good.
That's what I'm learning here. And then I became your supervisor.
I think we're on the same-
May? No, I want to say, or no, April.
Yeah, April.
April.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you were March, and then you
Yeah.
were like 1 month, and,
Yeah.
then I came in.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then barely learning stuff now, I feel. We're in October
Yeah.
12th.
Yeah.
Did the job match your expectations?
Yeah, I think it did. Well, whenever they asked me to be an admissions advisor, I kind of looked into it and I was like, yeah, okay.
Did
Yeah.
you feel that you were equipped to do your job well?
Honestly, I didn't feel like it at first, but then yes, I feel like
So yes, no, or sometimes?
I would have to just go with yes, because like
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I would say yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you feel that the work you were doing aligned with your personal goals and interests?
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, really? Why
Yeah.
so?
Well, because like whenever I graduated college, actually, I planned to go to grad school for occupational therapy, but then actually, I think 2 months before I graduated, I decided, nope, I'm not going to. And then I was going to go to nursing school whenever we first moved out here.
Oh, snap.
And I was kind of contemplating like working in a school because I was a resident assistant in college and I really liked that.
Oh.
I liked working with college students. So yeah, I would have to say that that was definitely something that I was interested in. And I think it increased my interest in working with students.
Cool.
Yeah.
The job was the job challenging?
Sometimes, yeah, for sure.
Sometimes. I put
Yeah.
sometimes. The workload was reasonable. Yes, no, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sufficient training was available. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. How much room for professional growth did you have at this company? A lot of growth, a little growth, or no growth?
I would say, I definitely have to say a lot, especially coming out like straight out of college and being able to accept a full-time job as
Yeah.
a administrative staff. I think that was something that was really cool for me.
Yeah.
And then getting the opportunity to grow in 2 different departments was
That's
great for
true.
me.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
to learn a lot.
Yeah. For
In a
sure.
typical week, how often did you feel stressed at work?
It depended on the week and like what was really going on, but I mean,
Stressed often, sometimes stressed, not stressed at all.
I would have to probably just say sometimes stressed. Yeah.
How easy was it to balance your work life and personal life while working at this company? Easy, somewhat easy, not easy.
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 Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here's the best stuff, folks.
Ooh.
Your supervisor and you.
All
So
right.
let's just talk about me because this is more
Yeah.
important than your other supervisors. How fairly were you treated by your supervisor at this company? Very fair, somewhat fair, not fair at all.
Very fair.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
How consistently did your supervisor reward you for good work? Constantly, somewhat consistent, not consistent.
I'd probably just say somewhat consistent, you know.
You don't have to. You can lie, or I mean, you don't have to lie. Is what I'm
Right.
saying.
No,
You
no,
can,
no. Yeah.
tell
No,
me
no.
the
I would say, I
truth.
mean, because, like, I mean, I feel like credit was, I guess, I
Credit
mean,
was
like,
given when
obviously,
credit was due.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
You know, it wasn't, like, consistently, because obviously, like,
Yeah.
I'm not, like, being rewarded every 5 seconds every time I send an email, but,
Sure.
you know, like, if there was, like, a huge problem or a huge situation that happened,
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, you know, one time we got, like, a cool little gift card, you know,
Oh,
for, like,
yeah.
Coffee Bean and,
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that, whenever there
You
was,
really
like,
helped that student.
yeah, whenever there's, like, really tough situations
True.
that happen, so.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
How realistic were the expectations of your supervisor? Realistic, somewhat realistic, not realistic.
So I think it's hard because like you were new coming in,
Yeah.
so I'd probably have to just go with somewhat realistic because like I don't know.
Because I didn't even know what the
Yeah,
job
so
entailed.
it was just like you know there was like only
Yeah.
so much that you could know at the time. So
See, this isn't an excuse, but you had an advantage where you worked in admissions, so you knew. Did you learn like CVIP stuff?
well, yeah, I learned some SIVA stuff, but I was still very much in the dark. I think
Oh, okay.
honestly, like I didn't really get the
Just
big gist of it
uh-huh.
until I moved to career
Okay.
services. Yeah,
so,
because then I was able to kind of like help process documents more, whereas in admissions I wasn't able to do that.
well, never mind. I guess. Yeah. Okay.
No, you No excuse.
I know, no excuse for me then. How reasonable were the decisions made by your supervisor? Reasonable, somewhat reasonable, not reasonable.
I'd say reasonable. I mean, we had to sometimes like go between departments and stuff like that to figure things out, but I mean, eventually we would. So.
Oh yeah. How often did your supervisor listen to employees' opinions when making decisions?
I would say very consistently.
Often, somewhat often.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How was it for employees to disagree with the decisions made by your supervisor? Oh my God. Easy, somewhat easy, not easy.
I would say sometimes, yeah.
They all disagree with me.
I would have to say easy, just because, they're. I mean, but I think that's something that kind of also gives you credit to you, because like that means that we feel comfortable enough to voice our opinions. You know what I mean? So like. Whereas I feel like sometimes if I was with another supervisor, I wouldn't feel as comfortable voicing that opinion.
Oh,
it
sure.
was a little bit easier to say like, well,
that idea's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blank name. Yeah.
Yeah.
How well did your supervisor handle employee problems? Did we have a lot of problems?
I don't feel like we had a lot of problems. So.
Well, somewhat well, not well.
Just say well, because I don't really know like what kind of problems we
didn't really have a lot of problems. Damn.
Yeah.
That doesn't make for good conversation. We should have talked about all the problems between the offices. What office did you work for? So you worked for admissions, you worked for student services, and that was it. Okay.
That's it.
How effectively were your skills put to use at this company? Effectively, somewhat effectively, not effectively.
I feel like it was effectively.
Okay. How easy was it to get the resources you needed to do your job well at this company? Easy, somewhat easy, not easy.
Yeah, I would say probably easy. I feel like there's a lot available.
How well did the members of your team work together to reach a common goal? Well, somewhat well, not well.
Well,
you only had one person on your team.
Yeah,
on your immediate team, I guess.
Yeah, so I would probably say well, because I mean, even whenever I worked in admissions and there was like 4 of us at a time, I feel like we constantly would have like little discussions throughout the day, and we would be able to solve problems.
Wait, when did you have 4 of you?
When it was like me, like whenever Casey was still here, and then Sam.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's 2 now in there?
Yeah. Now they're about to get 3 at least, so that's good.
At least. She's good, actually.
Yeah,
She's pretty interesting. How well were you paid for the work you did at this company? Well paid, somewhat well paid, not well paid. You can be on. I want you to be honest.
I mean, like at first I thought that it was like, I mean, it was good because, like I said, my thing was 0. I would probably say somewhat well. Okay. I would say somewhat well, just because the company is smaller. They're not big companies like some of these other places. Right. But just for the workload, I felt like it was a little bit much for compensation.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Did you take advantage of your employer's educational benefits?
No.
How? You could. FYI, were you aware of those benefits? You could get a master's degree if you want. Okay.
Yeah. Just didn't have time.
I said no, by the way. He asked me for years. That's actually one of the smaller reasons why I moved over to this department. He wanted somebody with an MBA.
Yeah.
Or a master's degree in that department. And I was like, I'm not going to school. They wrote a song about it.
Nice.
Was your employer's health insurance plan better, worse, or about the same as those of other employers?
I guess my employers or something?
Or any other, any other health insurance that you had. Was ours good?
I had no health insurance, so obviously it was good.
IU's was better.
Yeah.
How safe do you feel at your employer's workplace? Safe, somewhat safe, not safe?
I would say just somewhat safe.
Because we would have that bum come in every week? Because,
homeless people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's apparently, a shelter on one of these floors that has, homeless people, and then they walk around these. Are you not aware of this? And then some people actually walk around and come up to our floor, and then,
Well, I know that I definitely know that they come to our floor, and I've, been here by myself one time when there's homeless people. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But I mean, it's Los Angeles. What more do you expect?
It's okay. So I I never ran into this. I've born and raised here, and
Yeah.
I've never run into this many crazy people.
Really?
Until this area, until
Wow.
Koreatown. It is Koreatown. It's just.
Well, I mean,
it's
yeah,
just
because
a crazy place.
you know, I was like chased by a homeless person.
Oh
once,
yeah,
right?
tell that story.
Yeah, like I was just like going from my car to my apartment because I lived in Koreatown at the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I heard this person start saying like, hey lady. And I'm wearing high heels and a skirt. And
You're coming from work?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess like, I think this is whenever I like first started.
Gotcha.
And so like I had just driven here one of the days
Yeah,
or something. And this is before I realized, I can wear like tennis shoes to walk here kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it was pretty crazy because, then he, like, I cross the street and he keeps chasing me or, like, he keeps, like, getting a little bit faster in his pace.
No.
So then I start getting faster in my
Yeah.
pace. And, he basically chased me all the way to my apartment.
Was he saying things or he was just
Yeah,
chasing
he was,
you?
like, yelling at me, like, and he was kind of, like, acting like I dropped something. Like, hey, miss, you got this. But I knew he didn't have anything because I just had my purse with me. Like, I didn't drop anything.
Oh, man.
So,
what a creep.
Yeah.
But now you live in Pasadena.
Yeah.
Where's it's not as bad as Koreatown.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely still homeless people because, like,
Yeah.
especially, like, our trash can, like, our trash bin or whatever is, like, outside.
Yeah.
So we constantly see people digging in it.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Well, what's interesting here is that, I mean, I've run into, kind of weird, but I used to go to a lot of concerts when I was younger, and I would have to wait for a ride. This was before Uber and Lyft, because I'm old. And, I just want to make sure this is still going. Oh, no. Okay, it's still going.
Okay.
My computer just
I saw it like through your glasses. I was like, uh-oh.
freaked out for a second. No, so I would talk to a lot of homeless people. For some reason, I think they just thought I was approachable. And as I was waiting for a ride after a show at some venue, like I just be approached by a bunch of homeless people. And they were all just people down on their luck.
Right.
You know, just didn't have a job, asked for change, know, whatever, they're fine. The homeless people here are mental cases. And I don't mean that as, I mean, they obviously have like mental conditions or something.
Right.
And I feel bad for them.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a different level here.
Yeah.
From what I've noticed.
Well, because, like one time I think we walked to like John's from our apartment.
Yeah.
And there was a person that was, I mean, like he was screaming, and he's just screaming at himself, and like he's basically like having a conversation.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like he turns one way, and it's like a different person.
Like
and
Gollum?
It's just like like dissociative disorder or whatever it is, and it's so weird because you see it happening, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no,
what
exactly.
do you do? Because and it sucks because like we don't have the mental health.
I know, that
things
we
that
really,
we need,
yeah,
and
exactly.
especially for homeless people, they don't have that availability, and it really sucks.
It does. It sucks a lot.
Yeah.
There was a guy. So there was a guy downstairs who was dressed fine. Actually, he wasn't homeless. Dressed totally normal. So like a pretty like a well built. What am I trying to say? He worked out. Some Korean guy that worked out. And he was just like yelling at nothing, just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you want to go? Yeah, sure, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically probably like I can only assume that he has like 2 other people inside of his brain, and they were probably fighting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I watched a video one time of this girl who went through this dissociative disorder, and like as she was talking about her disorder, her personality and demeanors would change into whatever person was inside of her head. I think she said she had like a total of like 5 people in her head besides herself. That's like I can barely deal with just myself in my head. Like couldn't imagine like 5. Yeah,
5
so
others.
that's probably what he was going through.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel for them. I just feel for them. But yeah, this is where we work.
Yeah.
How comfortable was your employer's work environment? I don't know what the difference is. How safe did you feel at your employer's workplace? How comfortable? Okay, so safe and comfortable, I guess.
Oh, I mean.
So were you comfortable?
Oh, yeah, I was comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
How positive was your employer's work environment? Positive, somewhat positive, negative?
Well, I mean, what do you mean by like
positive?
Like,
was it a positive environment? Like, hey, everybody, we're doing things. Good job.
I'd probably have to say somewhat positive, just because dealing with students can be pretty negative sometimes.
Yes. Overall, how did you like working with your employer? Loved it, liked it, neutral, disliked it. By the way, this is the company, not me anymore.
Okay. I liked it.
Okay. What actions can your employer take to build a better work? Oh, these are the ones that
These
you
are
answered.
the questions.
Can I read your
sure.
responses? So I had you write it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, here I'm opening.
There's kind of a lot.
Okay. Well, good. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. What actions can your employer take to build a better workplace? Oh, this is good. If you could change anything about your job or the company, what would you change? All right. I believe this is what Adrienne wrote.
Yeah.
I believe the IU has been great, but there are some things I believe that could be done to make a better workplace for staff. Numero uno, staff should be given the same respect and benefits as faculty. Interesting. For just one instance, having the faculty lounge be only for faculty and the refrigerator be only for faculty is a bit unfair. I also believe that by telling us that it will be closely monitored and that our food will be thrown out if it is in there is a bit childlike.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is a little weird. The staff here are way more than faculty, true, so they should not be forced to keep their food and other things in the student lounge. Yeah, because we get the stuff stolen. Also, I leave my milk in there now.
And it gets used, doesn't it?
No, it's just frozen.
Oh. That's weird.
Somebody cranks up the thing in there, and I've changed it.
You know what? Yeah, okay. So actually, I left a salad in there over the like for 2 days or something, and it's spinach. And so I know with my refrigerator at home, I have to keep it at a certain temperature, or else the spinach will go bad quicker.
Right.
And so the faculty one was great. So that's why I started using that one to keep my spinach in there. And I leave that one, and I've left that in there for a week one time, and it was perfectly fine. But this one, I leave it in there for 2 days.
Yeah, it's already done.
And it was done for. I had to go buy food.
Yeah, different people, so many different people use it. And I think people just change the temperature, and it's stupid.
Yeah, and it constantly makes my stuff smell too. I don't like it.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, a lot is expected of the staff, which is perfectly fine, being that we are still a smaller school. No, I totally agree with you. There's a lot. I'm just going to go through this briefly.
No, you're good.
But yeah, there's we are a small company, yet we still run like we're USC. We're just so short-staffed. But that's been IU's story forever.
Yeah, and it's I totally agree, but it's just and I get that we're still a smaller school, so obviously not compensated as well as other schools.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that kind of goes back to the question about if the wages were fair. You know?
Totally. I agree. I do not agree with making staff be here from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. I agree. I understand that staff agree to do this when they first come in. However, IU is a good first full-time job to have, but if the company plans to keep people, hours should be more steady and consistent. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, because, we are, a place that I get that we try to cater to students as much as possible, and I think what I've heard before is just well, we're here for the students, and they might have work during the day, but my argument back with that would be, well, they're an F1 student, they're supposed to be here to study, work is second, and
I agree.
So yeah.
I'm agreeing with all this. All department heads / upper management can do a better job at being leaders and not managers. I agree, myself included. I feel at times there's a lot of micromanaging happening. Yes. Calling people out for situations instead of pulling them aside and discussing the situation, not taking certain situations seriously, not being on the same page about policies, and backing up or taking care of the students more than the staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, sometimes we do that. I'm definitely.
And I think sometimes
guilty of that.
I think sometimes even for you as the men heads, sometimes you don't know how to properly understand women. That one time I came to you crying, you didn't really know how to approach it. You know what I mean? You were just kind of looking at me but it's just and. I understood that, obviously, you, for one, I didn't really explain, why I was crying. It's just, I came to you and I was like, oh, and it happens. And then
I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah, because you were just well, I hadn't read the email.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I think it's just, obviously, and, it wasn't your fault, but, it's just, I guess, just being more aware of stuff like that.
Yeah, no, true. Well, I can tell you this now. I try and talk about it, but I don't as much. I'm actually part of a so I used to be a huge mess when I was around your age.
Uh-huh.
Actually, exactly when I was at your age. And I joined a men's team, which is basically like a cult. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding. It's like
Nice.
a gang, but more positive.
Right.
Basically, just men just meet. It's international. Well,
Okay.
international like America and Canada.
Yeah.
We try and meet to become better men because
Interesting.
it was
Yeah.
so bad. But yeah, and so that's stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah, for
Trying
sure.
to be a leader and
Yeah.
all that fun stuff. But it's a damn work in progress. So
Yeah.
thank you for that feedback. So I
Yeah.
know what to take
Right.
to them.
Right.
Oh man. How would you describe the culture of our company? The culture of the company is young and ambitious. I love all the staff that work here and find it very easy to fit in with everyone and their different personalities. Yeah, I believe all the staff are all very compassionate towards one another and have a great time. Yes, that's what actually keeps me here is the people.
Yeah.
Everyone's like this weird creative person here, which is nuts. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to move into this department.
Right.
Well, even though there's like 3 other smaller departments,
Yeah.
you know, everyone's still pretty creative.
Yeah, I think like I think the thing that I loved most about here was just like we literally are all so different. We all come from very different backgrounds, but yet we're somehow able to just like come together and be perfect together.
Yeah, exactly. We have Patrick over here smiling. Hello, Patrick. Some of the concerns you talked about above. I believe making a better environment for employees by making them equal to faculty, having more benefits if more is expected of staff outside of their normal job. Yeah, no, it's interesting because I used to work in that department in academic affairs. It is interesting feedback because when I was in it, when I was just in charge of that department, I talked to a lot of professors and they all get shit on.
Really?
At their other jobs.
Oh.
And so Ryan really wanted to make a culture where like we treated them like kings.
Yeah, of
and
course.
we do, and it's like
Yeah.
maybe we've gone a little overboard.
I mean, yeah, and then, like, you know, like I get that faculty are as important, but it's just like, you know, I think staff start to see that, and it's just like, okay, well, hey,
what
like,
about us?
We're doing all the background work over here.
I
like,
agree.
What's happening?
Oh, good point. Great point. Anything else you would like to share? Supervisor. Oh, can I read this?
Yeah.
I would like to see more involvement in the departments. I agree.
Yeah.
I believe that delegation is a major part of being a supervisor, but also being able to step up and help the department when needed. Well, you forced me to do that now with you leaving, so.
I know, I was like, well, yeah, no, just having more involvement, like, you know, of course, like, answering questions whenever, you know, CSV can't, you know, stuff like that. I mean, honestly,
definitely.
and, like, you know, because obviously, like, you're still learning stuff, so it's hard for you to be able to, like, do that. But, yeah, definitely, like, once you're able to, like, learn, and I think even I said a point in there, it's just, like, I guess reading up on our policies a little bit more and, like, not directly, I guess, our policies, but, like, CVIS stuff, because that's just, that's so much. I'm, like, I still have to learn, I feel like, so much from that. So, yeah.
Ryan gave me actually, that's something that Ryan and I have talked about. He feels that that's where I lack the most is actually on all the CVIS related
but I mean,
stuff.
like, it's just harder for you to do it, but, yeah.
There's no excuse. I just got to do the research. Also, setting up a policies. Oh, yeah, you said that. More knowledgeable at CSV. It's a lot when dealing with CVIS. And being a DSO.
Yeah.
I know. Overall, I believe that above statement really goes for all department heads. Yeah, as a supervisor, I do not believe that it should just be about managing the department, but also about helping your team in any way possible to not hinder your department, but to grow your department and make the process easier for everyone involved. Yeah, good points over here. There's a lot here, but anything else you want to add? But, so I don't have to read it all.
No. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was really it. And I just kind of talked about how much I really enjoyed working here because the culture, basically, with all the staff and everything, and saying how, like,
everyone's all young and fun. Hey, I'm in an interview. Can I talk to you later?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Alice is going to be on the interview now.
Yeah. Real work, I should ask her. What are your reasons? Oh, here's some fun questions. What are your reasons for leaving? Check all that apply. So let me go through these.
Okay.
Higher pay.
No.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Benefits.
No.
Better job opportunity.
I I mean, I get to just work from home, so not really. I mean, kind
okay.
of, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that is a plus if you want to market.
Yeah.
Commute?
Yeah, I mean, I get to work from home, so don't have to
Yeah,
commute
good
anymore.
point. Conflict with other employees?
No.
No, yeah. Conflict with managers?
No.
Family and personal reasons?
I mean, yeah, personal reason.
Relocation/move? Which, aren't you moving to?
Yeah, we're moving, so yeah.
but it's only for 6 months?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Your husband has a job over there or something, you were saying?
No, so we're gonna both be working remotely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he just recently got a promotion, but it's still gonna allow us to be able to work remotely while living
Wow.
in London for a few months.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we're very excited.
You guys, and you're a huge Harry Potter fan.
Huge Harry Potter fan.
And so are you going to just like pretend like you're in Diagon Alley the whole time?
I mean, that's basically what I did when I was visiting in April. So like everywhere we went, I was like, oh, that's in Harry Potter.
Right.
That's in Harry Potter. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going there, by the way.
Yeah,
November.
December, right?
November. Yeah,
November?
Okay. Just a day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I'll be going there.
Yep. You'll love it.
Career change. We're still on the reasons
Okay.
for leaving. Career change?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Company instability?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, just like, just with like
all
not
the
being
accreditation stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're not accredited, by the way. We're...
Yeah. And I think just there's just so much going on, so yeah.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a madhouse here.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this as a great place for a friend to work? Yes or no?
I've actually recommended it in the past, so yeah. I've actually tried to get people to like come and they need jobs. I'm just like, hey, like we're always hiring, like
exactly. And then your name, Adrienne Glass, over here. All right, I'll input all this information.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did the employee exit survey.
Mm-hmm.
The hard part's done.
Nice.
So tell me about you. So we talked about it a bit. You were born in Alabama. What did your parents do?
So my parents for a long time, my mom worked at a lawyer's office, and then my dad was in the military. And then they switched careers, and now they both work at a church. So my dad is a small groups and care pastor, and then my mom was the receptionist, but now she is the children's director.
Oh, that's cool. Is that fun?
At the time, I think, yeah. Looking back on it, I think it's like, it wasn't that great for me, just because, I was in one of those houses, like, you live under my house, you live in my rules kind of thing. So I was kind of forced to be in church, and I actually learned how to play guitar whenever I was young, and so I was like in our youth band, so I would sing, play guitar, I wrote music, yeah.
No way.
I can actually do that stuff.
What the heck?
Yep.
This whole time?
Yep.
Had no idea?
I know.
I knew you were an artistic person, but you even know it's crazy. You're crazy, Adrienne.
Yeah, so I can actually do a lot of the stuff. Most of the time if you hear me sing though around here, I'm just like being stupid. So I usually don't like to ever be real unless I'm in the car by myself. So
and then you're just like sing. You're like
yeah.
Like
I'm like an opera singer,
Really?
No.
Oh.
No, but
what kind of songs did you write?
It was mostly just like Christians, or like little like love stuff,
Jesus
like as a
is my
teenager.
pal.
Yeah, or like little like
Were you
boy girl crushes type things. So.
Were you in love with Jesus?
Well, I was in love with Jesus.
I was too.
Yeah.
Not in that way, but like.
Yeah, because you were.
I grew up Catholic.
Yeah, Catholic.
And I totally believed it.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, so I was Baptist, and I totally believed it, and now I kind of question everything.
Yeah,
it's a weird stage to be in.
Yeah.
Like personally, I still believe that there's a God who created us. I don't believe he has his hand on this country, though, in the way that everyone loves to talk about.
Yeah. That's like a big thing in Alabama, or am I just...
No, Bible Belt is a serious
real thing down
like,
there?
My church was right next to another church, and then on that same road, you just, like, take a minute little drive, and there's, like, another church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, they're everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah. So you grew up believing it and all that fun stuff. When did you kind of start questioning it?
So I went off to college,
That's what it was. Is those damn liberal colleges.
Yeah, that's what everyone likes to say for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, all the professors, because they just love to talk about their liberal views, right?
Yeah.
But no, it was just we actually ended up going to a Methodist church for like our sophomore or freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
And junior year is when I just kind of started questioning everything, just because things were, I don't know, I guess I just experienced the world a little bit more.
Yeah.
And kind of understood some things that I was kind of sheltered from as a kid.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Wait
this doesn't
a
make
minute.
sense, and yeah. So, and it was interesting because actually going to school where I did, I actually went to Troy
Which is
University, which is in Troy, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Our only
that's
claim to
right.
fame is that we have beaten LSU.
You have what?
We beat LSU in
Oh, you
football.
beat LSU.
Yeah. So like that's a huge deal for us. We've actually been doing really good football wise, but yeah. So anyway, so I went there, and there's a lot of people that come from like more North Alabama, and they're all Catholic. Which I found, I honestly had no idea what Catholic was before I went to college.
I actually like Catholicism because it's the most witchcrafty of all the Christian
really is.
stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we believe in so much crazy stuff. I still consider myself a Christian, even though I don't believe in any of it.
Yeah.
But I just I was baptized. I grew up in it, and that's what I wanted to talk about was. When I read Harry Potter, Hogwarts felt like Catholic school.
Really?
It really did, because there was like those families that were just, that were more fluent, and like affluent. Excuse me, and then just the different families and how small it was and how everyone knew each other and how there was this weird like bickering and, oh, my child's better than yours kind of stuff. And
I think
the
that's
kids,
just like
I know
religion and yeah, but I mean, because that's how it was even with where I was
but in
from.
like these crazy but all this happened in like these crazy cathedrals and churches, and I would be in these churches, and I just felt like these old like these old with the stained glass windows and everything like that constantly surrounding us. It just felt, and then when I read the pages, it was just like, oh, this is Hogwarts is the church that I went to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think
so
that's a very interesting take on it, for sure.
Yeah, and I wonder if J.K. Rowling, I'm sure had there's definitely that dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, because I think like obviously with like Harry Potter in general, there's this like good versus evil thing going on. So it wouldn't
no, exactly.
And then there's like this attack, on all the good people, which could kind of represent like the devil, like
oh yeah, totally.
Attacking
Harry
the church and stuff.
Basically kind of a Jesus.
Yeah.
But
Which is
J.K.
why
Rowling kind of plays with that.
Yeah, but I don't understand like why. So that's why like it's hard for me to understand like some people won't allow their children to read Harry Potter.
They won't?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
There's like so many people that I know that won't allow their children. And it's just like, but this teaches good versus evil in an aspect besides,
it's the witchcraft part of it. I actually had a, what's the third book?
The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban. I had that poster on my wall.
Oh, yeah.
And, let's just say, so my mother, I love my mother.
Yeah.
She's going through some stuff right now. Love her to death. But back when that movie came out, when I had that poster, she was going through some stuff, kind of like trying to find some different religions at the time.
Right.
Kind of was hanging around for like 1 week, this one religion, and they took down that poster. They actually threw
off your wall?
Off my wall.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
they came into my room, and I was still living there.
Yeah.
And they took down that poster.
Oh, I'd be so mad.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, don't you, nope.
Did you have any Harry Potter, like, posters and stuff?
No, so actually, like, I was kind of a fan of, like, the movies, but I hadn't read the books.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read the books until college.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
And so, like, high school, I think I kind of watched the movies, like, whenever I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think it was Deathly Which one? Yeah, is that the last book?
Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, Deathly Hallows. Yeah, the last part 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember Hayden and I going and watching that, and then I was just like obsessed, and I was like, I have to like go back and rewatch everything.
Oh, really?
I have
That's
to
how
go
it
watch
started.
the movies. Yeah, so yeah, that was basically how it started.
Wow.
and now I'm like a huge fan.
Yeah. What is it about it, you think, for you?
I don't know. I think it's just like this. I think because like I was able to kind of recall on like all the childish things. Like I basically grew up with the books, you know. Like my grandparents, they gave me actually the books every single birthday for every single time they came out. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want another book. Like the reason I never read them was because I hated reading as a kid. Yeah. And now I just like absolutely love it. Yeah. But yeah, for me, I don't know. It was just like, it was just page after page. I could understand like going from that, like being a child and then growing up. Oh yeah. You know, with it. And so totally. For me, that's just really what it was. Yeah. 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 It's I love. I'm not like the biggest fan of it, but I appreciate it a lot, and I think it's very fascinating. And also, I kind of feel like a bit of a magical person, not like a magician, not like a wizard. Yeah. But I just mean just general like. Just magic, or as magical as you can get on this plane of existence, right? And so I can connect to that in some way. I appreciate that, or like the Force, you know, even with Star Wars, people connect to the Force that way. Yeah, I love Star Wars. I'm not a huge, obviously I'm not a huge religion guy, right. but there is some. I feel like there is just another energy that we don't really comprehend or understand. A lot of people want to call it God, right? You know. George Lucas called it the Force. Yeah. J.K. Rowling kind of connects to it in a different way. I like that. Like, I like that thinking for sure, because, like, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely these energies that you feed off of, and whatever way you choose to, I guess, go about it is, I mean, that's why we have so many creative people, you know. Yeah. Musicians for a reason. I mean, they have a different energy maybe that they want to give off, and they feel. It's weird with me because I don't write any of the music. Oh, really? It's really kind of messed up. Yeah. I hear the music, and I'm just an outlet. I just have to write the music for whatever thing is trying to like get it out. It's the weirdest thing. Also about Harry Potter, what I wanted to tell you, I think it's fascinating that like this her story is very interesting. She was like broke and poor. She had a daughter, I think, almost homeless or something. She wrote these books about this magical boy, and about magic, and then now it's like one of the most popular effing things in the world. And like so many people turned her down about it. Yeah, like, and now they're probably just all totally part of the main. Like, and it's all part of the mainstream now. It's just, I don't know. It's fascinating. I find it just fascinating. Yeah. You said you love Star Wars too. I do love Star Wars. Which Star Wars though? Because you're a bit young. So my favorite one is I can't think of the name for the life of me right now. But it's the fifth one. Oh, Empire Strikes Back. Yes, Empire Strikes Back. Oh, okay. So I was scared you were gonna say like, oh, you know, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. No. Honestly, like the like 1, 2, and 3, they were good, but they're not as good as the classics. And so the reason that I know Star Wars so well is because that was one of the first memories that I have of going to the movies. Oh. And it was with my dad. Oh. And nice. So. When it like came out, like in. I think it was like. Re-released. 1 or 2, and I mean, I was very young. I mean, I was only, I was like super young, but I remember going to the movies, and it was with my dad, and so then from then on out, like he showed me 4, 5, and 6, and I was just obsessed. So I actually like wanted the trilogy. I remember one year for Christmas. Oh, nice. And they like I even got like a little slip of paper that was like, we're gonna get you the trilogy. It just hasn't come out yet. For like 4, 5, and 6. Oh, damn. And I was like, okay, and then I never got it, and I was so upset about it. Yeah. And then they were gonna come out with the whole like 6 of them. Oh, snap. And then we never got them. Yeah. But like, you know, whatever. We had. Wait, you still never got them? No, I never got them. But they came on TV like all the time. Yeah, true. So it was just like, I'll just watch them this way, you know. But I was just like, damn it, I should have had like the whole thing. But yeah, but then like I remember. I think whenever they came out with 7, I went and took my dad. That was his Christmas present. I got us like matching T-shirts, and he couldn't fit in his T-shirt. It was actually like too small for him, so he just gave it to Hayden. But it was cool to get to do that with my dad again. Cool. So that's kind of like it's kind of one of those things where I do actually enjoy Star Wars, but it's just the way that I connect with my dad. Yeah, especially since he was in the military, you know, him being gone and stuff too, like. Yeah. Oh, so he was like, did you ever like see any action? No.
Or anything? No.
No,
Okay. He was
so-
just on call or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
called.
like he was active duty or whatever.
Active
and
duty,
yeah,
yeah.
and so then I mean, like sometimes he was just gone for like trainings
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff, and then
Yeah.
he went to not it was like a town outside of Iraq, or Iraq. Is that how you're supposed to say it? I think it's
don't
something
know.
like that. Yeah, and something with a Q though.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, that's where he went, and he basically was just like I think he was an E7. Basically he just deals with equipment. That's all I remember
Okay.
like going to his place, and that's where he was
Yeah.
always with all the equipment.
Huh.
Yeah.
And this is the equipment that
yeah.
I work with.
And all his guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like
Oh,
the only
crazy.
guy like in there, and you're just like, this is cool, it's kind of
Yeah.
creepy, but all right. It's like a kind of like a warehouse style
Did your
place.
dad have a lot of guns in the house?
No, actually, so we never
really?
had any weapons in our house.
Oh wow.
I don't think we ever got weapons until I want to say like I was maybe senior or freshman in like college, or like freshman in college or senior in high school.
Oh okay.
Yeah, it had been a long time.
Do you feel like you had to like grow up or something in order to, he didn't want to have like a gun when they were kids or
yeah,
something?
I guess. I have
Huh.
no idea, honestly.
Do you have any siblings?
So I do, but they're both adopted.
Oh really?
Yeah, so I have
Oh.
a sister who's a year younger than me, and then a brother who's 3 years younger
Oh,
than
wow.
me. So they're both blood, brother and sister.
Okay.
And so
So they took him as a package.
Yeah. And they actually have an older brother as well, and he is 1 year older than me. But he decided that he didn't want to stay. So I was 13 when we adopted them, and so my sister was
wow.
12 and my brother was 10.
Gee, how was that like?
Awful. I love my siblings
Yeah.
now, but
yeah.
like
But when it first happened.
but when it first happened, I mean, I was the only child for 13 years.
Yeah.
I was the center of attention. Like, I was the oldest out of all of my cousins. Like, I was the oldest
Yeah.
grandchild. So, like,
yeah.
I got all of this, love and attention towards myself. So,
That's why you're so responsible too.
Yeah.
Quick side note: you're an you're the oldest.
yeah.
I'm
am.
the oldest.
Yep.
Makes so much sense now. All right. Go
Yeah.
on.
So, yeah, for me, it was just like always. And then something too was that because I grew up under my, parents' household, like I already knew what was expected of me.
Yeah.
I had to be that responsible one who had to be like setting the example for my other siblings.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me have to grow up real quick, but it also made me really angry whenever I would get in trouble for the smallest little thing. So it definitely made my, I would say like my talking back a lot worse.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, okay.
I would not have a filter as much of being like,
Oh my God! And you're a freaking teenager too.
Yeah.
You're going through all that stuff.
yeah.
Right around the time these
Yeah.
like 2 roommates are coming in.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
High school must have been very interesting, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was it was honestly the worst. So
Yeah.
and like because before that, we actually had an exchange student. She lived with
I
us
heard about
from
that. Yeah.
Germany,
Yeah.
and I think she was there whenever I was in 5th grade. So I was about 9. No, not 9. Oh gosh,
5th grade.
I was like
is-
11, 10,
Yeah.
11, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about where I was in the 5th grade. Anyways, I was upstairs.
You were upstairs.
Yeah, so we had 2 floors,
Uh-huh.
and we had 8 classrooms, and there was 4
okay.
classrooms
Yeah.
for the 1st through 4th floor, and then 5 through 6
Interesting.
or 5 through 8, excuse me,
Yeah.
was on the 2nd floor. And I remember it was such a big deal that going upstairs for the
Right.
first time, the 5th grade,
Yep.
was a big deal. How'd you get along with the German foreign exchange student?
Not well.
Oh.
Just because so she was the baby of the family,
Of
and
her-
then
oh,
I
okay.
was the only child.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, she really liked my dad a
Mm.
lot, but she didn't really like me and my mom because we were very, very close. Me and
Yeah.
my mom were.
Oh shoot! Do you want to say goodbye to AD?
Oh, I already said goodbye to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh dang.
So yeah, it was just kind of crazy for that reason.
Yeah.
But whenever my dad was there, it was perfectly fine. So
Okay.
yeah.
Man, wow! What a childhood.
I'm telling you. Yeah, it was definitely different. And sometimes I don't like realize like that all of this stuff like happened whenever I was a kid. Like it's like I kind of forget about it for a minute.
Sure.
And then it's just like I come back to reality and I was like, oh shit, like I've actually been through a lot. Like what the hell?
Well, it's definitely different than
Yeah,
a
'cause
lot of people.
Even as a
Sounds
child,
like.
I went to Puerto Rico whenever I was about 14, 15 for a mission trip. So it was my first time, like, I guess going outside of, like, the
the
U.S., even though it was, like, Puerto Rico is a part
yeah
of the U.S. kind of.
territory.
And, yeah, as a territory. And then my second, I went to Costa Rica. I've been there, like,
Nice.
2 or 3 times now.
Yeah.
And then whenever I was 17, I went to Ethiopia, which is
wow.
in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you do in Ethiopia? Another mission trip?
Yeah.
What do you guys do? Just like help people
So
or?
with Puerto Rico, it was like building houses and stuff like that. Paint, like at first I was painting a house, and then I actually had to go and like build a house.
Wow.
So that was, and I had no prior experience, which is crazy. which actually to that, I kind of talking about religion in a way.
Yeah.
Because we always feel like we have to go on these like mission trips and stuff and like help these people.
Mm-hmm.
But why not like instead spend our money just like sending it to them without us having to go?
Yeah.
Because I read an article or saw like a video where they
Yeah.
were talking about if we would just send our money to these people to employ workers who actually need the skills and experience, then they could build these houses for their own community,
Right.
be able to get
so
jobs.
These people
and,
coming out here.
yeah, instead of like these Americans who don't know what the...
We
yeah.
have a mission to
Yeah.
save you guys. Here
and
you
then
go.
we're only there for a week, and that's
And then you get
reasons
the
why
hell
these
outta here.
like, because in Costa Rica we would do like VBSs, so we
What's
would
that?
be like a vacation Bible school.
Okay.
Yeah, and for these children, so we would be with them all week.
Yeah.
They would love on us, and they'd get attached to us, and then we would just abandon them. So they've had that already happen so much in their life, and
Yeah.
so we think we're doing a good service, but really all we're doing is just doing the same thing that everyone else in their life has done to
That's
them.
so American to
Yeah.
like go out and like, plant a little something, say like, we've
Yep.
done good here, and
Yeah.
then leave, and then jet.
I mean,
You
yeah.
do that to countries.
Yeah, I was going to say that's literally what we do with like most countries.
Yeah.
Second and third world countries. Like we're just like, oh, we're going to here to help you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we just blew up your whole entire house and most of your family's dead, but we did a great job, right?
You did a great job here. The leader is now dead, so you guys can, figure it out from here. All right, peace.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, in Ethiopia, we just like, we worked with an orphanage. We like painted their rooms, and then we took them shopping for a day. And that's actually how I got a worm inside of me. That was where I got that from. I got a...
What?
I got a... Yeah.
What does that mean?
You know how like...
I've heard of that.
Like a tapeworm.
Yeah.
or
But what
something.
does that do to you?
Well, for me, it made me lose like 15 pounds.
What's that?
I had it for a whole year. Like, I never had heartburn before
A
that.
whole year?
Yeah. And it was
God.
it was about that long
In your stomach?
in my stomach.
So that's about 7 inches?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And
What the hell? With you, in Costa Rica?
no, in Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, okay.
Yeah.
Ethiopia.
And because I
Is
got
it
this
in
chicken.
the waters? Oh, okay.
Well, I got
it was
this
in the
chicken,
food.
and it was like yellow on the inside. But we
Yeah.
were with these orphanage girls,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to eat it, but it was just like I felt bad if I didn't eat it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because then it just kind of looks like, oh, this American girl, you know?
Well, did you have to have surgery, or did you just wait it out?
So I ended up going to this person we call like the voodoo doctor, even though he's not like a voodoo doctor, but he's just like an internal medicine, like kind of all like
okay.
natural herbs and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. And so he was the person who told me that I had it. After I even got testing, and they were like, no, you don't have anything. So he gave me these like natural medications. I just took it for like a week, and then whoop,
No way.
yeah, came out.
problem.
Came out.
Wow.
And that was really awkward because I had to call my mom, and they'd be like, Mom, look in this toilet. Is that a worm, or am I just like seeing something, And
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow, that's nutty.
yeah, it's crazy, but
So what does your future look like, Adrienne? What are you
Yeah.
up to?
well, I'm gonna be moving to London, like we kind of briefly discussed for
Mhm.
like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really pumped about it.
What happens afterwards?
We don't know yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Play
so
it
I
by
mean,
ear.
we plan to come back to LA,
Okay.
but in terms of what happens next, not really sure.
How do you like Los Angeles?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the diversity here. I think, obviously, like, that's why a lot of people come here. Obviously, the weather's great, too.
Yeah.
But I just think that I've grown so much just within this year and a half of, like, being here that, I mean, it's insane. And a lot of it just has to do with the culture. Like, I can literally go anywhere, and I can just be myself, and no one cares. Whereas like where I came from, like everyone is constantly watching you.
Did you? Maybe you're a little younger. I had a friend who was from Florida, and she moved here, and she didn't think she was racist. And then as she was hanging out in Los Angeles, she was like, "Oh no, I was racist." Like she just didn't realize how racist she was. Do you feel has that ever happened to you? You might be younger, so you're totally different generation.
I mean, well, because like so actually for me it was more so like I just realized how much racism was from my hometown.
Oh, okay.
I just realized how like racist everyone, because I've always been a very open person. I remember at a very small age there was a time where I remember actually when Alabama was about to legalize interracial marriages. Like it used to be
was
legal.
still
Yeah. I remember this being a thing.
That was a thing?
Yeah. Or maybe
you're
it was
23
just like
years old. Oh, you're 24 now.
I'm 24,
actually.
yeah. Or maybe
oh my God.
it might not have been illegal, but I remember like it being still very looked down upon.
Still
so maybe
a
there was
thing.
like something.
My God.
I remember having a conversation with my dad about this in the car.
Yeah.
And not that my dad is a bad person, it's just like how the culture was there.
Oh yeah.
So like it was looked down at like it's not of God. Like, I remember being told that, like, if you marry someone outside of your race, then it's not of God.
Right.
Just like marrying someone outside of your religion.
Ooh.
So that would, so I just remember stuff like that. And it still happens today, you know. But, like, I remember always thinking, like, what does it matter? Like, we're all the same on the inside. Like,
Yeah. No,
you know?
totally.
And so, that was something that was weird for me.
It's funny. I actually used to have prejudices about Alabama.
Yeah.
And I was the opposite for me because I'd just be like, oh, I'm from LA. And like, look at how backwards they are.
Yeah.
But, some random segment in the Daily Show actually like caught my attention. I think it was in Alabama. There was this like little community that was for gay marriage. This is before it was legalized.
Yeah.
And everyone in the community, the people were making fun of like Alabama.
Right.
And then all the people in the community were like, who cares if a guy marries a dude? I'm cool with it, you know? And like, and I was just like, oh, I guess there are open-minded people everywhere.
Yeah, cool. Because like what I think Hayden and I have talked about before is that like you have these small little communities. Because if you look at the map of like Democrats versus Republicans, you will see that there are these like very, very small towns. But then you have places like, you have places like Birmingham that like actually are probably more Democrat. Yeah. But you have so many small little towns that are all Republican that they kind of just consume the bigger, more urban areas. And so I mean there still are probably like small little towns like that are more Democratic as well. But overall very Republican.
Yeah. It's mostly Republican. But no, I can't wait to go. I want to do actually a tour of the South. Alabama. I want to hit Alabama.
Well, they just opened some museum in Montgomery. I think Hayden was talking about it. It was something to do with like the slaves, like back in the day. Some like tribute to them and stuff like that. It seems really cool. I haven't really looked a whole lot into it, but I was like, that looks pretty interesting.
I love museums. Yeah. I think that's probably the thing I'll do.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, damn. So so the future is yours. You're 24 now.
Just no
great.
Plan for kids.
No plan. Yeah, no plan for. Yeah, you're married.
Yeah,
you married young.
Yeah.
You're married. No plans for kids. Good for you.
Yeah. But I mean, no kids as of right now. All I want is just cats and dogs right now.
Yeah. And you have a cat, right?
I have a cat. She's
great.
my world.
What kind of dog do you want?
I want a corgi, but then I also want a golden retriever. And I named them after Harry Potter characters.
Yeah.
So my cat is Siri from Sirius. I want a corgi named Remus from Remus Lupin.
Remus, yeah.
And then I want a golden retriever named Luna from Luna Lovegood from Ravenclaw. Because I'm a Ravenclaw.
Oh, are you a Ravenclaw?
Yeah, I'm a Ravenclaw.
That's great.
Yeah.
Gryffindor.
Nice.
Yeah. Although I want to be Slytherin because it's cooler.
I was going to say I could see you as a Slytherin.
Yeah. That's another story. I pretend to be a Slytherin, but I'm a Gryffindor at heart. Nice. Stupid.
Most people try to do the opposite, though. They try to be a Gryffindor when they're like something else.
Is that true?
Yeah. Everyone wants to be a Gryffindor. I mean, Harry Potter was.
I don't know. I don't know why I rejected so much. A lot of people in my family, for sure, Slytherin. All the way. Really? I think that's what it is, because a lot of people in my family just have that vibe. The Ecuadorians. The Ecuadorians have the they just have that magical power. I think it's like some Latin thing. I don't know what it is, but even though I look white, I got a little bit of it.
Get a little bit of it.
It was great. And your family's not from Alabama, though, right? Didn't you say they're from like?
Yeah. So originally, both of my parents are actually from California.
Yeah.
So, like my dad, his family was in the military, so they moved around a lot. But they met in California.
It's funny because you look like an OC person. When you said you're from Alabama, we're all like, what?
Yep.
That's because you're.
Yeah. Well, because like my mom's from San Jose, and then my dad was born in San Diego.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, I have like greats, aunts, and uncles that live all over here.
Right, all around here.
So yeah.
It's just the military brought them to Alabama.
Basically.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, I think my dad, he just wanted to go back home too. Kind of dragged my mom into it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So anything, we don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
I can't believe I got paid an hour.
I know, to sit here and do this.
To sit here and talk. Well,
hey.
He wanted me to get the employee exit survey out of the way, and we did. And
we did everything
I've
else,
talked to him about this podcast, so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
But you're like the first. This is an experiment. I was actually a little nervous about this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was gonna happen. It's like I don't know what kind of questions you get asked during this kind of stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. You did good.
Yeah.
There's still a little bit of time. I will not let you off early.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Let's see. Oh, some unsaid things.
Yeah.
So I did your eval.
Yeah.
I would have given you higher scores. Let me just say this out of the way. Really, because you were a great worker.
Thanks. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck if you're not here. God damn.
Yeah.
Because
I know.
No offense to.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
No offense to the other people who
right.
work here. It's just you helped out a lot.
Yeah.
With just the amount of emails you answered. Oh my God, that was great. As soon as I get a faster computer, I'll be able to actually answer some emails.
Yeah. You maybe can just take mine.
What kind? Do you have like one like this? The small one?
Oh no, it's the big one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is your computer fast?
Yeah, it's fast.
Maybe I will take it.
I mean, it's smaller than some of the other ones for sure.
Okay.
Because I remember being like, dang it, I can't put my feet on it as well anymore. Because I like to just prop my feet up sometimes, and it was like in a good area for that. But yeah, now.
Well, Well, we're almost out of time. Thank you, Adrienne,
no
for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck on your endeavors.
Thanks.
I'm happy for you. I'm glad you're getting out of here. No offense to the people that are listening that work here.
No.
But it's just exciting to go off and do some new things. So thanks.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one.